Hello, everyone. Hope you are doing well. Well, food items and non-food items are really starting to get more scarce out there, so more concerning. And from what a lot of you are telling me, you're starting to see more of this. You're also starting to see limits on more items and a little panic buying going on. Now, it may not be like this in every town and every state, but it is starting to get more widespread. Alrighty. And so I did a little more research on it. Some of you guys have been sending me articles on it. I really appreciate it. And I also want to spend a minute or two talking about our observations here where we live, where we've been shopping here in the last few days. So first article talked about a lot about Procter and Gamble, P&G. This came out today. They're raising their prices on a host of household staples. Shocker, right? So because of costs for freight and raw materials is rising faster than consumer product giant anticipated. Of course, price increases come in addition to earlier moves to start charging more for staples like from anything from diapers to toilet paper. Like I said, no surprise. They're going to keep raising these prices and they're getting more scarce at the same time. That they're going to keep passing those costs down to us, you know? So US inflation is at its highest level in a decade. No shocker there. Uh, the financial chief for P&G says we do not anticipate any easing of costs. Well, of course not. They're going to keep doing this. We continue to see increases week after week, though at a slower pace. So they're going to keep increasing it, little notches at the time. You may not be as noticeable, but it's going up. More and more. Despite the higher expenses, P&G maintained its sales and profit outlooks for the year, saying increased revenue and cost reductions will enable the company to stay on track. Well, that's special, isn't it? Well, of course it did. We're contributing to that, aren't we? A lot of us. During the last quarter, P&G's net sales rose 5% to 20.3 billion, higher than the consensus forecast of 19.8 billion. Again, that's pretty special, huh? Well, they still make plenty of profits. They're not going to take less money. They're going to make more money, and it's not coming down. Prices are not going to be reduced, right? Okay, items that may be hard to find here moving forward, and some of these are not a huge surprise, but I'll go over them. Ben and Jerry's ice cream, kind of strange. Carbonated drinks, starting to see that as well. Sodas getting, of course, definitely less variety. Chicken, we kind of knew that already. Coffee, we've heard about that. Brazil's had a problem with droughts and production costs, transportation costs as well. Diapers on the list for sure. This was interesting. Fish sticks. Okay. Apparently, there's a customs dispute on the United States-Canadian border that's kept the Alaska pollock, which is used for the fish sticks and sandwiches, stored across the border. So cross-border violations have halted the transportation of the fish and may cause permanent seafood supply chain problems. Fish sticks. So we can't manage to produce fish sticks in the United States, although we have two major oceans on both sides of our country and the Gulf of Mexico. I don't know. Crazy. Okay. Crazy. Frozen meals is on the list. Not a big surprise. Heinz ketchup packets. Marie Callender's pot pies. They got a lot of salt anyway. McCormick gourmet spices. Rice Krispie treats. The Kellogg's workers are on strike. A lot of people are on strike. Interesting. Sour Patch Kids candies. I've noticed the candy aisle looking a little slim in some places as well when I'm out shopping. Toilet paper is also on the list. Said that Fox Business reports that only 60% of orders are being shipped out. Some retailers, such as Costco, have reinstated purchasing limits, and some of y'all have said that in comments as well. You're hearing that. So, not a big shocker there either, but I thought that was kind of interesting about some of those items. Wanted to talk a bit about what we're seeing here in our area. We've been out shopping. Mrs. Dog and I have been out last several days. Getting things, just popping off preps, food, non-food items. So we went to Tractor Supply a couple of nights ago, and we love the place. We were just picking up a few things. We just like to go in there, and they had two employees working, and it was around dinner time. It was busy. I felt sorry for these two guys. These just two guys were there, and they were all kind of people in there. We were picking up something that we had shipped there, had ordered online, and I picked up an extra propane tank and needed that refilled, and a couple of little items. But there was just the two guys there. They were working their tail off, okay, and they were very apologetic. They kept acknowledging everybody and acknowledging us, like, "Hey, we're getting to you as quick as we can." And so we were getting checked out, and then he had to run. The guy that checked us out had to run out there, and met him out there to fill up the tank. And I just told him, I'm like, "Man, I know y'all are working hard. We really appreciate it." And he was like, "Short staff, man. Short staff. We're doing what we can." So I have to say the customer service was good. I just felt bad for him, and it's weird that we're thinking like, "Thanks for coming to work." Uh, Never seen anything like this before. So then after that, we were like, we're hungry. Okay, we should get something to eat. And we go to Firehouse Subs. We walk in there and they tell us it's a 45-minute wait to get anything that we order. That was weird. Okay, so we walked out. So we're driving down and we're like, what do we do? We don't want to. Everything's cost so much, and I don't know what to trust anymore with restaurants. So let's just go to Chick-fil-A. There's one here over here. We went in there and got through. Now they were staffed pretty well. Their dining room was closed, but we went through the drive-through. Of course, they had two lines going in the drive-through, packed, but they looked like they were staffed pretty well. And so we waited a bit, but not terribly long. And they were nice, of course, as usual. So we got that. So we got the food. We start driving home, and Mrs. Dog is looking pretty hungry. So we just stopped at a CVS parking lot and ate in the car. And we were just sitting there eating. And it was like, remember the good old days when we could just go in the restaurant and actually in the Chick-fil-A or wherever and eat at one of the booths, and grab some packets and all that kind of stuff. It's just a different world, isn't it? I mean, is that coming back? I don't know. Doesn't look like it. Strange. Okay, grocery store. Kroger, Aldi is near me. I don't really have a Walmart really close to us. We have to go into Athens for that. But anyway, Kroger was the big one. Things that I'm noticing really low. Canned foods really getting thin in there. Veggies and canned meat. Rice, pasta low. The pasta sauces like the spaghetti sauce, toilet paper, cleaning supplies, chicken, of course. There was very little choice as far as chicken, like in the meat department. Um, what else? Over the counter meds, lunch meat, really low on lunch meat across the board. Sugar and flour, the baking aisle looked pretty hard hit in there. Cereal, so. Um, the bottled water was just jacked. I mean, it was very little. All of they had some bottled water in there in the big packages, but the 1 gallon jugs gone. There was nothing. I mean, it was empty. Never seen that there. For juice boxes, juice that's in the box and even in the plastic bottles, very low on. Gatorade, forget about it. Even Powerade, forget about it. Nothing. And very little of the even the powdered part of it. Frozen meat, turkey. I saw no turkeys there. Very little frozen meat. And the frozen vegetables even were a little low there. Dairy and milk seemed okay, not as fully stocked as usual, but a lot of the shelves, a lot of fronting going on, bluffing. So maybe one item and not much behind them on a lot of those canned items in the grocery area. Soda, very low on the soda as well. Okay, especially on the 2 liter bottles, very little of that. So very interesting. But share what you're seeing out there. Let us know. Are you seeing the same thing with food or non-food items as well? So grab what you can now. If you need one, get two or get three if you can, if you're able. Pick up a little extra on your trips. We're eating out less as well, trying to make more food at home. We need to eat less. We need to try to get in that habit anyway. Increase our physical fitness. Get out, walk if you're able. try to increase our cardio a bit. You know, get out and get some vitamin D if you can. I mean, Mrs. Dog and I went to the park, yesterday. It was really nice. We're going to do that more often. And it was really nice out there. Other people looked like they were doing the same thing, just trying to get away from it all, get outside. Everybody was nice and good experience. But get outside and move around. Get in the sun if you can. It's cooling down everywhere, it seems like. And so do that. Pray, prep, and keep on going. And don't panic. You know, so people have been telling me they're seeing some panic buying going on out there, and I think we're just on the precipice of something like that. You know, one big panic buy could wipe out shelves totally. I mean, even though they're thin right now. So, but anyway, share your thoughts, what you think, and what you're noticing out there. I'd appreciate it. God bless you and keep you, and I will talk to you soon.